There are places that impress the world, and then there are places that silence it. Hong Kong is one of them, a city carved between mountains and sea, rising like a living symbol of human precision and endurance. To the American eye, it feels otherworldly, a fusion of tradition and technology, humility and ambition, all beating in perfect rhythm. Neon light meets ancient spirit, efficiency dances with art, and chaos somehow becomes order. Every street tells a story. Every skyline whispers of dreams that refuse to fade. It's not power that leaves America speechless. It's mastery, discipline, and quiet brilliance. Hong Kong doesn't shout its greatness. It moves with grace that demands silence. This is Asia Eye Within, and these are the 7 reasons Hong Kong leaves America without words. Reason number 1. Hong Kong rises skyward like no other. A vertical kingdom where ambition defies gravity, and every inch of space becomes a masterpiece of human ingenuity. In Hong Kong, space isn't found, it's invented. The city rises like a living sculpture, carving a kingdom into the sky where gravity seems optional. To the American eye, used to wide avenues and endless land, this defiance of nature feels almost impossible. Here, every inch of earth is sacred, every rooftop a possibility. From Victoria Peak to the harbor's mirrored edge, towers stand shoulder to shoulder, not competing, but cooperating, forming one seamless skyline that glows like a crown of light. This is not just architecture, it's ambition crystallized. Hong Kong's skyline isn't a collection of buildings, it's a testament to survival. Limited land became an invitation for innovation. Skyscrapers grow like bamboo after rain, each designed to balance beauty and efficiency in perfect harmony. To walk its streets is to feel the vertical rhythm of human will, an upward momentum that never stops. Elevators replace sidewalks, and terraces become neighborhoods in the clouds. Americans, used to space as freedom, find themselves speechless before a city that proves freedom can also mean height, the liberty to rise when there's no room to spread. From above, the view is almost spiritual. Glass towers pierce through clouds, reflecting both sunlight and starlight in a spectacle that feels unreal. Below them, the streets breathe with life. Hawkers, trams, bankers, monks, and children, all moving in a pattern that somehow works without collision. It's a civilization stacked rather than sprawled, and yet it functions with more grace than chaos ever could. In Hong Kong, height isn't distance, it's destiny. Every window tells a story of someone who climbed, not just stairs, but circumstance. What leaves Americans silent is the realization that Hong Kong built all this not from abundance, but from constraint. It's a city that turns scarcity into art, pressure into perfection. While most of the world spreads outward, Hong Kong teaches a new direction, upward. It's an act of collective defiance, a statement against limitation itself. And when night falls, and the skyline flickers to life like a constellation reborn, the truth becomes clear. This is more than a city. This is humanity's vertical dream, a kingdom suspended between earth and sky. Number 2 reason. Hong Kong is where East meets West in flawless harmony, a living paradox where British precision and Chinese spirit blend into one seamless cultural symphony. Hong Kong is where the compass meets its own reflection, East and West, tradition and modernity, woven into one impossible harmony. To an American stepping onto its streets, it feels like walking through 2 worlds that should never coexist, yet somehow do. Colonial clock towers stand beside dragon gates. Dim sum steam mingles with the aroma of Italian coffee. The Queen's English drifts through Cantonese markets, and Buddhist temples sit quietly beneath neon towers. Every corner hums with contradiction, but in Hong Kong, contradiction is not chaos, it's choreography. This balance wasn't born from design. It was forged through time, trade, and survival. For over a century, British order shaped the bones of the city, the rule of law, punctuality, precision. Yet beneath that structure beats a distinctly Chinese soul, resilient, poetic, intuitive. Where one side builds with blueprints, the other builds with instinct. The fusion doesn't erase either, it enhances both. To Americans, it's mesmerizing, the sight of 2 civilizational philosophies not clashing, but conversing. In Hong Kong, Western logic and Eastern rhythm find a language only this city could invent. The streets are alive with that dialogue. A tram rattles past skyscrapers that bear feng shui-infused designs. Schoolchildren in crisp uniforms bow before their teachers, then speak fluent English without hesitation. Bankers quote Confucius as easily as they quote Wall Street. The red taxis speed through streets named after British governors, yet inside them, Cantonese pop plays over soft static. It's a mosaic of manners and meanings, every gesture layered, every sound blended. For the visitor, it's overwhelming. For the local, it's identity. This is the city's secret symmetry, not fusion by force, but balance by nature. What leaves America speechless isn't just how Hong Kong balances two worlds, it's how it thrives because of it. In a global age where cultures often collide, Hong Kong proves they can coexist without losing their soul. It stands as living proof that difference need not divide, it can elevate. Beneath the skyline's glass and gold lies a lesson that true strength isn't in choosing sides, but in mastering both. Here, East meets West not as rivals, but as partners, and together, they built a city that feels less like the future and more like perfection already achieved. The number 3 reason: Hong Kong's financial pulse beats faster than most nations, a city where capitalism thrives not in chaos, but through rhythm, discipline, and quiet ambition. Hong Kong doesn't just breathe commerce, it is commerce. The city hums like a finely tuned engine, its heartbeat echoing through trading floors, neon-lit streets, and the quiet rhythm of early morning ferries. To Americans, it feels familiar: skyscrapers, stock tickers, ambition, yet something is different. Here, capitalism doesn't roar, it whispers with precision. Deals are sealed not with noise, but with trust. Efficiency is the culture, and momentum is the creed. From the harbor's edge to the mountain's peak, everything moves with purpose, fast, but never frantic. What stuns outsiders most is how this city of 7 million runs like an empire of its own. Without vast natural resources, without endless land, Hong Kong built its fortune on discipline. It turned limitation into leverage. Decades of trade, finance, and global exchange taught the city one sacred truth: opportunity doesn't wait, it must be created. Americans, raised on the myth of the self-made dream, find in Hong Kong a mirror, but one that reflects what happens when discipline replaces optimism and precision replaces chance. Here, capitalism isn't a gamble, it's an art form. From the world's busiest port to the silent hum of Central's glass towers, the system is a choreography of trust. Contracts matter. Punctuality is respect. Rules are followed not out of fear, but pride. The small shopkeeper counts every cent with the same care as the billionaire banker tracks every stock tick. In Hong Kong, success isn't luck, it's legacy. It's the unspoken rule that effort must honor the past and define the future. To Americans, it's almost unsettling, a version of capitalism stripped of indulgence, purified by necessity. But what leaves them speechless isn't just Hong Kong's wealth, it's its restraint. Amid all the skyscrapers and fortune, there's no arrogance, no chaos. The city runs on silent efficiency, a ballet of ambition and order that makes Wall Street feel almost loud in comparison. Every light in the skyline is a declaration. Here, the market isn't just a system, it's a heartbeat. And as night falls over Victoria Harbor, that heartbeat glows across the water, steady, disciplined, and unstoppable. For America, it's not competition they see in Hong Kong's pulse. It's a reminder: capitalism, when mastered, doesn't just build wealth. It builds wonder. Reason number 4. Hong Kong stands as a beacon of law and order, a city built on trust, contracts, and the delicate balance between freedom and sovereignty. For decades, Hong Kong stood as one of the world's most trusted crossroads, a city where a handshake could seal a deal as firmly as a signature. Built on the foundation of British common law, it became Asia's legal fortress, transparent, consistent, incorruptible. To Americans, this alone was astonishing. A place where contracts were honored, justice moved swiftly, and bureaucracy served progress rather than stalling it. The city's stability wasn't inherited, it was engineered. Every regulation, every court ruling, every clause was part of a larger promise. That law, not power, ruled here. but shadows always follow light. As Hong Kong's sovereignty shifted in 1997, the city's great experiment entered a new era: one country, two systems. It was a delicate balance between autonomy and allegiance, between freedom and control. To the West, it looked like a diplomatic miracle. To Hong Kongers, it was a vow, fragile yet sacred. For years, the balance held. The courts remained fair, the press remained free, and the skyline continued to rise. But in quiet corners, uncertainty began to echo. Would the law that once protected prosperity soon have to protect itself? To Americans watching from afar, the transformation was mesmerizing, a live tension between history and future. Hong Kong wasn't losing its identity, it was defending it. Every protest, every courtroom verdict, every student standing beneath the city's glowing towers told the same story: that freedom isn't guaranteed, it's guarded. The city's devotion to its rule of law became its quiet act of rebellion, its way of saying that integrity can stand taller than influence. Even as pressures grew, the system fought to remain unbroken, like a compass refusing to point anywhere but true north. And yet, what makes Hong Kong truly remarkable isn't its defiance, it's its faith. Faith in process, in principle, in the belief that law and liberty can coexist even under immense strain. To Americans, that faith feels both familiar and foreign. It's what their own republic once fought to preserve, now reflected back at them through a city of steel and courage. Hong Kong stands not as a monument of the past, but as a living argument that justice, once rooted deep enough, can weather any storm. On the fifth reason, Hong Kong's greatest strength lies not in its skyline or wealth, but in its people, resilient, fearless, and united in their unbreakable spirit. In the rhythm of Hong Kong's streets, there is a heartbeat unlike any other: fast, defiant, alive. Beneath the skyscrapers and neon lights lives a people who refuse to yield to circumstance. Americans see the city's skyline and marvel at its architecture, but Hong Kong's true strength isn't made of glass or steel, it's made of spirit. When storms strike, when systems shift, when uncertainty hangs in the air, the people of Hong Kong do not retreat, they adapt. Resilience here is not a slogan, it's survival refined into art. From the fishermen of Aberdeen to the traders of Central, every generation has carried its own kind of endurance. In the face of crises, financial, political, even existential, Hong Kongers rebuild with quiet precision. To Americans, this resilience feels cinematic, almost unreal, a society that faces turbulence not with despair, but with discipline. Even the city's protests, often seen through lenses of politics, reveal something deeper: a population unwilling to surrender its voice. In every march and chant lies an unspoken promise: no power, foreign or domestic, will ever erase the essence of who they are. In the narrow streets of Mong Kok, in cafes that never close, and on the trams that glide through the dawn, this determination pulses like electricity. It's the will to continue, to evolve without forgetting, to stand tall without shouting. Americans see in Hong Kong a reflection of their own founding ideals: liberty, individuality, courage. But here, those ideals are lived daily under pressure that would break most cities. To walk among Hong Kongers is to witness quiet heroism, where progress is pursued not for glory, but for dignity. What leaves outsiders speechless isn't just the defiance, but the grace. Even when surrounded by uncertainty, Hong Kongers find beauty in persistence, lighting lanterns when the world grows dark. Their story is not one of defeat or submission, but of perpetual rising. And so the world watches, in awe, as this small city continues to do what giants often forget: to stand, to speak, and to endure. Because in Hong Kong, the spirit of the people is not a response to hardship. It is the city itself. Number 6. Hong Kong's living culture moves, not in monuments or museums, but in motion, light, and sound. In Hong Kong, culture doesn't sit still. It flows like neon down a rain-soaked street. It hums in tram bells, flickers in rooftop signs, and glows in the scent of night markets where languages collide like colors in motion. Americans who arrive expecting structure and order find instead a symphony of contrasts: east and west, old and new, sacred and modern. coexisting not by compromise, but by choreography. Every corner is alive with rhythm. Every alley, a scene unfolding in real time. Here, the past doesn't fade, it performs. Cantonese opera echoes beside holographic billboards. Incense smoke mingles with the aroma of espresso. Hong Kong has mastered what few cities dare, to be ancient without being trapped in time, to be modern without erasing memory. For American visitors, it's disarming. They see skyscrapers mirrored by temples and realize this isn't contradiction. It's harmony expressed in steel and prayer. The city breathes history and innovation in the same breath, never pausing, never aging. Food becomes its own dialect, a universal language that binds the chaos together. From street-side dim sum to Michelin-starred precision, every meal tells a story of migration, adaptation, and pride. Americans, who often celebrate cultural fusion as novelty, find in Hong Kong a civilization that's been blending worlds for centuries, effortlessly, beautifully. Here, even a bowl of noodles carries heritage, even a tea house hums with legacy. To witness Hong Kong's culture is to feel motion, not frantic, but purposeful. It's a current that carries art, commerce, and identity forward together, never standing still. This is what leaves America silent. The realization that culture here isn't curated, it's alive. It doesn't ask for attention, it commands it through movement. In this dance of heritage and progress, Hong Kong reveals the sixth reason it leaves the world speechless. It doesn't preserve its soul in glass cases. It sets it free in the streets. Reason 7. Hong Kong stands unbroken, a city that endures storms, bends to no power, and belongs only to its people. In every age, some cities survive by luck, others by wealth, but Hong Kong survives by will. It has been a pawn on empire's chessboards, a jewel traded between flags, yet it never lost the pulse that defines it. When the world watches for submission, it answers with spirit. To Americans, that defiance is breathtaking. A metropolis that thrives between giants and still claims its own voice. The skyline may glitter with foreign glass, but its foundation is built on local grit, unshaken and unmistakably its own. For decades, Hong Kong has lived at the edge of change, between systems, between sovereignties. Yet through every shift, its people adapt without surrender. When laws change, they rewrite resilience. When freedoms tighten, they expand expression. When silence is expected, they speak through art, trade, and unity. Americans, so accustomed to open protest and bold declarations, stand in awe of this quieter resistance, one defined not by volume, but by endurance. Hong Kong's defiance is not shouted. It's lived, daily, in persistence and pride. Its power lies in its people, street vendors who open at dawn after long nights of unrest, teachers who keep lessons alive through uncertainty, families who face tomorrow with the same grace they carried through generations. This strength humbles the outsider. Americans see skyscrapers rise, but they don't always see the human hands holding them steady, the quiet faith that no government, no empire, can legislate away. That faith is Hong Kong's true sovereignty. As night falls across Victoria Harbor, the city's lights seem to burn brighter, not in rebellion, but in remembrance. Each beam a reminder that identity, once awakened, cannot be subdued. The world may claim Hong Kong, reshape it, redefine it, but it cannot own it. For what belongs to the people cannot be conquered. And that is the seventh reason America stands speechless. Because in Hong Kong, freedom isn't a slogan, it's a heartbeat. A city that never bows doesn't need to roar. Its silence is stronger than any empire's voice. From the soaring skyline of glass and light to the deep rhythm of culture flowing through its streets, Hong Kong stands as a city that needs no defense, only witness. We've explored 7 reasons why America stands speechless before it. The vertical kingdom, where ambition builds toward the clouds. A harmony where East meets West in balance and grace. And the pulse of capitalism, where speed meets silence, and efficiency feels almost alive. We've walked through the rule of law and the shadow of change, where principles are tested by time, met the spirit of the people, unyielding and brave, seen culture in motion, where neon and tradition dance side by side, and finally, reached the city that never boasts, a place defined not by power, but by pride. Hong Kong isn't just a city. It's an idea made visible, a reminder that resilience can shine brighter than politics, and that identity, once awakened, never fades. This has been Asia Eye Within, where the unseen becomes unforgettable. Subscribe for more journeys through Asia's hidden depths, its triumphs, transformations, and untold truths. Like, share, and let your voice join the conversation that keeps these stories alive. Until next time, remember, the eye sees what the world overlooks, and in every story, Asia writes its legacy in light, steel, and spirit.